Okay, now, so we'll understand method overriding. Okay, so method overriding concept as the relation with inheritance. See, we have understood the concept of inheritance, right? And aggregation. Inheritance is a relationship. Aggregation is has a relationship. Okay, aggregation in Java will keep it aside. It is an individual concept which is away from the inheritance. So inheritance, when you have understood the concept of inheritance, understanding method overriding is very important. Okay, what is method overriding? The definition is having the same method in the subclass as declared in the superclass is known as inheritance. Let me repeat, having the same method in the subclass in the child class which is declared in the superclass with the same name, with the same signature details. Okay, we'll see this practically. Okay, so advantage of method overriding. Method overriding is used to provide specific implementation of a method that is already provided by its superclass. Okay, so why do we inherit? To reuse the code, right? So let's say when you are inheriting from superclass to child class, some methods which are declared in superclass you have to modify as per your subclass. Then method overriding is very useful. The second is method overriding is used for the runtime polymorphism. So this the method overriding is the best example for polymorphism. You'll understand that what is polymorphism and why do we call overriding is the best example for polymorphism sometime later. Okay, so now example. See, so let me illustrate that this concept in an example. See, we have a class called animal. Animal has what? One method, run. It has one statement. So we have another class as dog. Okay, we are extending animal class, correct? So animal dog class also has run method. So by definition of overriding, what you can understand, child class can have the same method which is declared similar the same method in superclass, correct, right? So this is the example for the overridden method. So this we called as overridden method. Okay, see, for example, now see, for we have another class test dog. So we have test main method and we have created the object of animal and we are running this. So using this object, what it prints? It prints run method. So this is not run, move, this is run. Okay, run method from the animal because animal object. So in this case, see, here we are using the animal reference with the dog object. In this case, run method will execute from dog method because it's a parent child relationship. So we have already understood in inheritance concept. Okay, referring an object of a class, its parent object, in the runtime, JVM picks the actual method from the object class, not from the reference class. Okay, so here what we are doing here, the point here is we have to provide a specific implementation of run method. That's why we are using method overriding. Okay, so now we'll work on that. See, already we have created the animal class. Here we have a run method. Fine, so let me go back to mammal. Mammal has a single method which is separate method. So what is overriding? Having the similar method in the child class, correct, right? So now let me define same method, public void run. Fine. So let me have the object mammal can run. Okay, before this, let me comment this. Go back to demo. So now we have an object of m. So we'll run m dot. You can see even methods which are declared in parent class animal. So let's take run. So let me run this. Now animal can run. Mammal object is running the parent class method. Yeah, correct, right? So run method is reused here. So let's see what I'm trying to do here. I want to define a specific method. I want to modify this run method in mammal. That means I have to add this. That is what I have done here. Mammal added run. So I have modified this. Fine. So go back to demo. So now run this code. See here, it changes in the output. Mammal can run. That means child method has been overwritten this. Fine, got it right? So when you override, always you use an annotation. Override. Okay, this annotation, this we call it as annotation, override annotation. Okay, this represents this particular method has been overridden from the parent class, this method. Fine. Okay, so let me go back and run this again. See, it has been overridden. Similarly, you can try with different example. So we have eat. So again in mammal, you can eat overridden. What you can do here, just hold control key in the keyboard and click on space. You will get a method eat. See here from the parent class. You will see override method in animal. Yes, select this. Automatically a method has been generated here with this annotation. So in earlier example, manually we have done this. Here by holding control key and then click on space button. So we have got this. Okay, so remove this unwanted line. Okay, so now I'll comment this, I'll explain this, what is that exactly. So now you give the specific implementation to this particular class. Mammal can eat. Okay, demo and m eat. Run this. See, mammal can eat. Go back to mammal and comment this. Let's see the difference. Okay, go back to demo. So by selecting this method to run, then only you can see eat is coming from animal. Earlier it was from mammal. So run this. See, animal can eat. Go back to mammal and comment this. Okay, since this method is overwritten nothing but having the same method name and same method signature with a different implementation in the child class. So run this, you will see the difference in the output. Okay, I hope you have got the concept here, right? Fine. This is called as method overridden. Okay, there is no big funda in there. It's very simple. So now, as other concepts has rules, in method overriding also Java has a lot of rules. We'll go through one by one. So while doing method overriding, so all these rules should be satisfied. Okay, you should mark this or you should keep this in your mind while working with overridden concept. Okay, first one, method must have same name as in the superclass. Okay, method which are going to display, define in the mammal, child class, okay, should be the similar name as in the animal. That is what we have seen that. Second one, method must have same parameter as in the superclass. Okay, so here we are not using any parameter. Let's say for example, super string message. Okay, so it says something. Okay, go back to, sorry, animal. So here I'll pass one parameter, string message. Okay, see here you are getting error. See, you are getting error here. What is that? This run method has been overwritten from the animal class. So the same parameter should be used. So that has been gone. Okay, so you pass that message here. Okay, so in the demo, just run pass that. Okay, see, mammal can run. This is true. Correct, right? So like this, that means method must have the same parameter, same name as in defined in the superclass. Then only method overridden is possible, and should have the inheritance relationship. It must be inheritance relationship. Okay, so this overridden or overriding, method overriding is possible only in inheritance concept. If you are extending any other class, only those methods can be overridden or overriding. Okay, so other except this you cannot achieve overriding. Fine. Now an overriding method in the subclass must have exactly same signature. That's what we have discussed. Second point, same signature, nothing but name, number and order of the parameters, return type, everything should be same. Okay, already we have discussed all these concepts, return type, number of parameters, how to change all those things. Take this example, design a couple of examples and work with the method overriding concept. Understand that. Okay, overriding method definitions will be used for subclass objects. Okay, so that's what we have seen that, right? Method overriding method definitions will be used for the subclass object. Go here. So if you take animal, okay, now parent reference is storing child object. So if you run here, it runs. The compilation time you will get the method details from the parent class, but in the runtime it runs from the child class. Okay, and the keyword super can be used to call overridden superclass methods. Yes. Now this is very important. So in animal we have eat, right? Eat method. So this method has been overridden where in mammal. We have changed it. Now by using super keyword, simple, super dot eat. By using super keyword you can call the parent method definition. Okay, see, all parent methods definitions you can call. That's nothing but using super keyword within the any methods you can access the parents class properties. Okay, if you run this, it runs along with the parent method implementation and child implementation. Okay, have you got concept of super? Yeah. Now static methods cannot be overridden. Okay, we'll see this when we discuss in static concepts. Okay, I think we have already explained static, right? Yeah, static method cannot be overridden because static methods or static properties are attached to class, not attached to objects. That's why it's not positive. Fine. So this is about method overriding. Take different examples and try. If you have any doubts, you can reach me through email. Okay, so now we'll understand the concept of interface. Okay, so an interface is a blueprint of a class. Okay, it's a blueprint of a class, it's a template of a class. It has static constants and abstract method. So here you have to understand abstract meaning. Abstract nothing but hidden methods. Methods without definitions, without any implementation. We'll see this practically how we can do that. Okay. The interface is a mechanism to achieve fully abstraction, nothing but hiding. Okay, in Java. There can be only abstract methods in the interface. Okay, it is used to achieve fully abstraction and multiple inheritance in Java. Whereas in inheritance, okay, it doesn't support multiple inheritance. Whereas in interface, it supports multiple inheritance. We'll see this practically with a couple of examples. So as third point is, interface also represents easier relationship. Since it supports for inheritance concept, we can call this as easier relationship as well. Okay. So the question, usual common questions you would get in interview is, why we use interface? There are mainly three reasons why do we use interface. One is to achieve fully abstraction, means hidden. As I told you, methods we can declare without definition, we can hide that. Okay, by interface we can support the functionality of multiple inheritance. Okay, right? So whereas in the inheritance concept doesn't support for the multiple inheritance, whereas in the interface concept we can achieve multiple inheritances. It can be used to achieve loose coupling. So this point you can understand by practicing on this. Okay, see, the basic structure of inheritance looks like this. Similar to class, but instead of class keyword, interface we use here, and interface name. And inside, any number of final static fields, means variables always should be static or final or combination of them. And any number of methods, but with abstract. By default, methods which are declared in interface are abstract, means hidden. We'll see that what is that. Okay, see this figure, this picture represents the relationships between classes and interfaces. If you have two classes, what you can do, we can extend. If you have one interface and another class, what we can do, implements. So implements is the keyword which we use to implement an interface into a class, whereas in classes, extends is the keyword we use to extend one class with another class. Okay, if we have two interfaces, we can extend between them. Okay, see now example, we have a Java class printable, sorry, it's a printable Java interface. So one more point is, interface also will store as .java file. It doesn't have separate format. Okay, so we have an interface called as printable. We can declare like this, as I told you, interface printable. Void is a method, as I told you, without definition. This is called as abstract method. Abstract keyword is not required to define here because methods which are declared inside the interface by default abstract. And we have another a class file. It is not a interface. Class A. As I told you, between a class and interface we can implement. So we are using implements keyword to use the to implement the interface. Okay, so now see here, there is something here. So and public static wait main method, and we are creating object, we are running this. So we'll take the same example and understand. Go back to Eclipse, create a class called as printable. Sorry, not class, interface. To create interface, right click on this, go to new, there is an option called interface under class. Select this. Okay, printable, finish. So you can see here, interface keyword has come instead of class because we are creating interface. So what is that? Public. You can use public keyword, otherwise you can ignore this. So since we are using in all example, we'll use public keyword. Public and void. Sure. What is that? Print. Okay. Do this. So still you have an error when you give flower buckets. What is that? Abstract method should not have body. Do not specify a body. That means abstract methods, right? So any methods we declared inside the interface should not be having the body. Okay, only method name with access specifier and return type, the semicolon. So now we'll create another class called as A. Okay, abstract. No. Okay. So as I told you, what we can do, we can use implements keyword to implement an interface. See here, the symbol of interface I. If you see in future any class with this icon, is called as interface. Okay, so as soon as you implement an interface with any class, it says, see here, it gives a suggestion to add unimplemented method. It is mandatory. If you are implementing any interface into a class, it is mandatory that unimplemented method which are present in the interface should be implemented in child class. Now here it has become the parent of class A. Okay, you can give print here. Some code you can write. Practice purpose, I am writing system out.println printing. I'll just say correct. So we'll have demo of this. Okay. Okay, we'll create A dot printable. So we run this, we'll get this output. Hello. Correct? So this is the case. We have an interface, we have a class, in between them we can implement. We have understood this already. That is called as inheritance. This is interface concept. Okay, now we'll have, okay, see now let us understand multiple inheritance is possible. Yes, if you have two interfaces, you can extend between each other, and you can extend an interface, you can implement to a class. So practically we'll see that. See, printable already we have we are going to have another interface called as showable. We'll have the same method here. I will use public find abstract method of show, abstract method show method here, and now we'll go back to A and implement as per the definition, as per the picture what we have seen here. We can implement multiple interfaces, right? Showable, correct? Now still it is getting error because a method, abstract method, is available inside the showable, which is not implemented in child class. The class which is extending the, implementing that, it should be implemented. Okay. And the sum method. Fine. So go back to interface demo and a dot show. Run this. Hello, how are you? See, this print method is printing this message, okay, because this method was presented in printable, we have implemented here, and this method was present in showable, we have implemented here, that is printing. Yeah. Okay. So similarly, as we have rules in method overriding and inheritance, here also we have rules of for inheritance concept. What are those rules here? See, so it's talking about variables. Variables have separate rules. Variables can be only public or a default. If you are going to have variables declared inside the interface, it should be public. Okay. Static string name, something like this. It should be public. Fine. Okay, so public final. So we'll understand what is final key. Final key is something like constant key which other program has. So any variable declared with final key cannot be changed. This is fixed. Okay, so it is about the variables, first rule, and by default a static and always static. Okay, by default, if you don't declare this also, this is static, means this variable can be accessible by using printable name, name of the interface. Where we have implemented this, we have implemented this under this. So directly you can use like this. Otherwise you can use interface name and can be used like this also, because this is static by default. That is what we have understood, right? With the static keyword. Okay, so by default final, always final. That means we no need to declare any variable as final. This is by default final. It's always final. You cannot change. If you go back to printable and demo of interface, where we have declared this, yeah. So let's say I'm changing this. String name. Right. Let's say I'm changing this to some name like this. It says it cannot be changeable because this is always final. Fine, this is not positive, this is not allowed. So next thing is rules about methods. Methods can be only public or by default, cannot be static and cannot be final. Okay, so these rules should be remembered while working with inheritance. Practice with multiple example and understand this concept. Okay, this is about inheritance. Okay, so now let us understand object class. Okay, this is the right time to understand the object class because we have understood the concept of inheritance. Okay, recall that I had keep telling that there is a class, there is an object. Okay, go back and go back to arrays. Okay. Okay, before going to arrays, let's go back to class here only. We'll create an object class. Okay, so before creating any class, let me go to any class here. Employee class. Okay, and inheritance demo class. See here, I will just under this M object, I will use dot operator. Can you see along with animal class here? Can you see object, object, object? Some methods and reference here. How it is coming here? Maybe you can tell now. Because see, when we can get this option here, if any class is inherited with the object class, then only we can get the method. Yes, object is a class. By default, for each and every class, by default, object class is inherited. So you cannot see that. See, for example, if you take a class here, dot class extends an object. See, it works, no error, even though it works. See, if you have public static void main method string args, okay, dog object, see here, under this you can see objects, because what is this, where there is no any methods under this, right? So create some methods, public void bark. See, now you can see the method which is from the dog class along with object class methods. These are all the object class methods. Wait, wait, wait. See, wait, wait. Now you can say, what is this? This is overloaded method with different parameter. Okay, wait, to string, notify all, notify. All these are methods of object class. It does a specific task. Okay. Now I should take an example. Class demo. See, just recall the concept of arrays. See how to take the object, declare an array. See, we have understood the concept of array. Array is a collection of variables we can store fixed size values of similar data type. Let's say now I have to create an object array obj, correct? Object 3. Yeah, obj can start from 0 array index values, right? Now store, see here we can store what? We can store the values of similar type. That is what we have understood still so far. We're working with array, but there's a difference when you are creating object array, because object is universal class, right? It doesn't have any shape. It is not car array. It is not fruits array, or it is not string array. It is not integer array. It is an object. Means object can be anything, right? Car, integer, string, human being, animal, everything is an object. That means you can store anything here. Let's say I'll store some integer values. Here I'll store some name, string value. It works. It doesn't give any error. I'll store something else also. What I'll store? I'll store dog object. Correct. Now, how will you work with array? Using for. So, what is the enhanced for loop concept? There should be. See, now I want to print all these values. How do you print? So since it is object type, I should use object variable only. Correct? So some value and obj. So system of dot println I. If you print this, these values should be printed. Okay, why it is not printing 0, 1, 2? Array store exception integer. Okay, the problem is here. Yeah, this here, this is wrong, right? We should declare like this. Okay, now this array pattern is right. So let me run this. Yeah, it is working. 100, hurry, and some object reference. This is the object reference of this. Fine. So it is working. So this is about an object class. Okay. So let me go back. See, object class in Java. The object class is the parent class of all classes in Java by default. Okay, have you understood this? That means if you take any class, the parentmost object here is object. So let's take an inheritance of animal. See, animal is the parent of mammal. Okay, mammal, correct, right? The parent of animal is whose? Object. Okay, that is what this means. In other words, it is a topmost class of an object. Okay, object class is beneficial if you want to refer any object whose type you don't know. That is what we have done here in the array example, right? Okay, so when it is useful, where you want to refer some object as an object. Okay, I'll show you that how. employee, that is demo. See here, now this is an object mammal, so animal is the parent, so I can use here object because let's say that this works, but heat is giving error. Because why? Because if you use like this, the eat method should be defined inside here. That's why it's giving error. Fine. So this is possible. That means any object which is type of something unknown, then you can refer object reference. So we'll see that practically when we work in Selenium. Okay, notice that parent class refers variable can refer the child class object known as casting. Okay, so that's about the object class. So you can see the hierarchy like this. The object class is the parent most object. Any other class is the child of this object class always. Okay, so that's about the object class. Okay, now we have discussed almost all points under class 7. There's one last point. So usage of inheritance and interface in Selenium. Okay, go here. Okay, I have a project which I have created to explain inheritance. Let's go to this class. See here, I have created a real Selenium code. Okay, don't worry how it is coming here. I have imported Selenium code jar files. That's why, so I can work like this. The Firefox driver, what is this? Let's understand this line of code. See, just mouse over on this. See here, this is the class Firefox driver. Class means this is an object. It is referring a reference variable of type WebDriver. What is this? WebDriver is an interface. Okay, that means WebDriver is an interface. It has been implemented in Firefox driver. So that's why child object is referring the parent interface. Okay, so you can define like this as well. It works. Okay, you got it now. So the manage method, see the driver is an object, there is a manage method is there. So where it is coming from the Firefox now. Correct? See, a lot of methods. Okay, and go back. So this is the usage of interface in Selenium code. I'll just show you one very important thing. So while working with Selenium, we usually we referred code document. Okay, this is the website Selenium googlecode.com. So this is the a website where you can see all Selenium classes and interface. It's a repository where you can find out all information. See all classes. When you click on this, displaying all classes. These are the package details. Okay, so just go here. See any text which is Italian font, right? So those are all the actions. I mean, those are the interfaces. See, action is an interface. So see, click application cache. This is an interface. Okay, so click on actions. This is the class. So you can see here this class actions class extends what object. Got the relation of between inheritance and interface. Okay, whereas in go to actions, see here it implements these many classes. Okay, see here, look at here, button release actions. I'm just clicking randomly some class informations. So you can see it is extending mouse and implementing action. Means action is an interface, it can be implemented into a class, and mouse action is another class which is extending by this class. Okay, so go to this website and read each and every class informations and try to understand these keywords and how many class can be extended into a class, only one class, because multiple inheritance is not possible. If you could see multiple implementations, yes, it's an interface. So you refer this, read this and understand this. Okay, this is the website. Okay, that's about usage of inheritance and interface in Selenium. Fine.